Let's talk about the facts, and let's talk about Donald Trump's awful cover-up attempt inside the Oval Office caught on camera. Now, what we're learning from the New York Times is that in Washington, D.C., at the time of the horrific and tragic plane crash, staffing was not normal at the airport tower, according to a preliminary FAA report. This follows the news last week that Elon Musk forced out the head of the FAA. There was also a hiring freeze within the FAA. Also, Donald Trump gutted the key aviation committees, safety committees. He fired the head of the TSA as well as the head of the Coast Guard. Also, a Black Hawk helicopter was involved as well. That falls under Pete Hegseth's chain of command, and Pete Hegseth was apparently too busy yesterday talking about how he wanted to remove a star from the 4-star General Milley, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, even though Hegseth never even commanded anybody in the military before, as petty retaliation on behalf of Donald Trump. So those are the facts. So what did Donald Trump just do in the Oval Office moments ago? Insanity, folks. Donald Trump signed an executive order blaming former President Biden and DEI for all of the flight dangers that led to the tragic crash. Folks, this is as banana republic, dictatorship, authoritarian crap that perhaps you wouldn't even expect of Kim Jong-un. But it is here in the United States, and we will report on it. Here's what happened. Let's play the clip.
Sir, thank you.
Second, for your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for your Secretary of Transportation and FAA administrator, in this case, acting FAA administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA, in keeping with your memorandum of January 21st, are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired into.
In other words, competence.
Yes, sir. Elevating competence over everything.
Now, let me show you what Donald Trump posted, though, on January 22nd, 2025. Fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump ends DEI madness and restores excellence and safety within the Federal Aviation Administration. He's saying it's been restored. But what I see happening right now is over 60 individuals lost their lives on this tragic plane crash, where the plane from Kansas crashed into the Black Hawk helicopter in Washington, D.C., as we now learn that staffing was not at normal levels at a time where Donald Trump is gutting federal staff. So let's be very clear about the facts, folks. Now, also in that ridiculous and heinous Oval Office appearance, Donald Trump then attacks Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs. Let's play it.
Subsidies that we're giving to Canada and to Mexico in the form of deficits. And I'll be putting the tariff of 25% on Canada and separately 25% on Mexico. And we will really have to do that because we have very big deficits with those countries. Those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
Mr. President, part of that.
Now, folks, do you find it odd that Donald Trump spends about 23 of the 24 hours in the day on TV cameras while corporate media just parrots what he says as though they were gospel, just copying and pasting it basically? Well, Donald Trump said, well, how about you actually report what the facts are? Perhaps we should say that if Donald Trump does that, he's about to crash our entire economy. And while Donald Trump's saying all of this, here he talks about how he's setting up, and let's use the real words, a concentration camp in Guantanamo Bay. And he goes, I don't expect it to cost much. Let's play that clip.
running Guantanamo Bay. You want 30,000 new beds there. Is there a possibility that will increase? Was 30,000 the
It
maximum?
could increase, yes.
What would be the maximum?
It depends, but countries that won't take back their criminals that they sent into us, they sent them to us. They put them into the caravans and they came in. As sure as you're standing there, they were sent by those countries. Then they're going to be met very harshly with sanctions, etc.
And when are you hoping to have Guantanamo Bay, this new facility, up and running?
It'll be up pretty quickly.
How much do you think it's going to cost?
Not very much. A lot of the structure is already there, as you know.
Mr. President, you said that incompetence may have played a role. Are you
A reporter asked Donald Trump about his plan, or to use the words of Donald Trump, to just clean out all of Gaza, just to cleanse it, to get rid of it. Is essentially what Donald Trump said as he mused about building condos or building apartments and building it himself or rebuilding it himself. Isn't that what Jared Kushner said? So the reporter says, oh, well, you said you're just going to clean it away, just get rid of the whole thing and move people to Egypt. But the king of Egypt or the Egypt's president and the king of Jordan said they're not doing that. So what are you saying? Donald Trump's like, they'll do it. They'll do it. Play this clip.
Egypt's president and the King of Jordan have both said that they won't take in displaced people from Gaza like you suggested. Is there anything you can do to make them do that? I mean, tariffs against those countries, for example?
They will do it. They will do it.
What makes you say that?
They're going to do it. Okay? We do a lot for them, and they're going to do it.
Mr. President, you've offered.
I mean, folks, this timeline is that of idiocracy on steroids. I don't know how else to describe what it is we are witnessing here. It certainly ain't leadership. Let's show you the next clip. Do you have plans to go and visit the crash site? Trump says no, because it's water. It's water, he says. Play the clip.
Families of the victims of the plane crash.
I don't want to comment on that.
Do you have a plan to go visit the site or meet with any of the
I have
first
a plan
responders?
to visit, not the site, because you tell me, what's the site? The water?
Or to meet with
Want
the
me to go
first
swimming?
responders down there?
I don't have a plan to do that, but I will be meeting with some people that were very badly hurt with their family member, obviously, but I'll be meeting with some of the families, yeah.
This is what Donald Trump says about air traffic controllers. Play this clip.
Talking about that, we're talking, but air traffic controllers, maybe in particular, they have to be brilliant with computers, brilliant with graphics. They have to be psychologically really, really smart. And, there are a lot of people that wouldn't be able to do that.
And Donald Trump refuses to talk about when the last time he spoke to Putin was. Play the clip.
Mr. President, you said earlier today that you had not spoken to Putin about this. When was the last time you spoke with him? And has President Xi responded to your ask to help put pressure to end the war in Ukraine?
I won't comment on either of them, but we're doing very well with regard to both.
There are some reports that Xi.
Well, folks, to our international audiences watching the MeidasTouch Network, let me be very clear. There's about at least 75 million of us here in America that look at this with horror, that despise, detest this despicable dictator who has taken control of our once incredible nation that he is destroying. We hope to restore the promise of what America is until such time we stand in solidarity to all of those who want peace, who want democracy across the globe. That's what we stand for here at the MeidasTouch Network, and we don't support, condone, parrot the ridiculous words of this dictator, this authoritarian, this despicable human being who we watch in the Oval Office. And I'm not going to mince words when I say the reality, what we've just watched and witnessed. Hit subscribe, check out MeidasPlus.com, turn your notifications on. Let's grow this together. Please. Thank you.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.